Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michaela. These are all the books that I read, plus some on my Kindle. And I am so proud of myself this month. I read wait, I gotta count because this is like the best reading month ever. Probably because all of the new releases are out. 7. And I'm 40% or so through this one. So I would say that is a really good reading month for me, especially since I had only been reading like maybe 4. So anyways, we'll get started. For whatever reason, this one is not showing up on my Goodreads. I finished it the 3rd day of April. So this one is part of the, what's it called? Twisted series? Yeah. So there's Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. Oh, she also has a Love series. Okay. This is the second one in the series. Pretty sure this is my favorite one just because it's like I don't know what it was about it. Probably it was the bodyguard and princess dynamic that made it just so good. Like the forced proximity trope. Anyways, this one follows, what's her name? Princess Bridget, and then the bodyguard is Reese. So it's Reese Larson and Bridget von Ascheberg? Not sure. So anyways, this one, what did I rate it? I have to look it up on Goodreads because it's not showing in my red shelf. Okay, so I rated this one a 4. Definitely my favorite one of the series, for sure. And it's, I don't know, it's not like a super short one. It's over 400 pages. So it was a good time, but it went really quick. I read it the 2nd and the 3rd. Pretty much every single one of these books I read in 2 days. If it's a new release or if I'm really loving it, I'm gonna eat it up in 2 days. Okay, the next one, I continued the Twisted series by reading Twisted Hate on my Kindle. First of all, I had filmed changing my Kindle stickers and it didn't save to the memory card. So here's what the stickers are now. Just love all the different flowers for it. And there's less going on than what I had before. It was a basket and then all of the flower stickers that I could fit on here. So I like this a lot better. And then I just have my clear pop socket or the one that goes on my phone, and then it's a comfy. So anyways, Twisted Hate is about Ava's best friend Jules and then Ava's brother. Totally forget his name at this moment, but this one I didn't love as much just because it's Twisted Hate. So they have an interaction and she overhears him talking to Ava. And then all that stems this hatred and this bickering back and forth. And instead of talking to each other, they just go on hating each other and hating each other and hating each other for years. So I didn't love that. Hence why I only rated this like a 3 stars, I think. Just because I didn't love all of the hate and like the miscommunication or lack of communication. Then a new release. I read Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the 3rd one in her series, and she's also coming out with a novella after. So she was saying if you have questions that weren't answered in here, it'll be answered in the novella. And I'm pretty sure I can guess who the novella is going to be following. I don't know, but we got a new perspective in this one that we've never seen before, so that was enlightening and answered some questions. That was very interesting to see. You still get the dual POV, the back and forth, the Peyton and Kai, and I also love how she separates her chapters with little flowers, and then at the beginning of every chapter, she also has, let me go to a beginning. Chapter 1, yeah. She also has these flowers going on. That's really pretty. You can kind of see here. And then these are all of the other covers. I have this one for the novella, and then the pink one for this one. And then, so I had to get the pink one for this one. Oh, and I have the red, Reckless. So it goes pink, blue, red, pink. So the blue is kind of standing out. But anyways, I was really looking forward to this one. I thought it would be even better than the second one because the second one wasn't, I don't know, suspenseful. We got to see a little bit more of the world, which I liked. And in this one, you get to see a little bit more. And that leads me to believe, I'm pretty sure actually that she said she was going to continue writing in this world because there's a different map going on. So I know lots of stuff is going to be happening, and you hear them talking about the other lands too. So I'm very, very curious what happens on those islands. I read this one in 4 days, so that also tells you it wasn't keeping my attention as much as I thought it would. And I was honestly a little disappointed because it made me think she was copying a little bit of how the Hunger Games storyline goes, and I didn't really love that. Also, I wish we could see more of the powers from people because I totally forgot what even Kit is supposed to be, like what his power is, and I have no idea. You hear about other people, like what they are, but you never really see it in action, and I really wish that we could have seen that more, especially since it's a world divided by powers, elites, and those without, ordinaries or mundanes, whatever, I don't know. So I only gave this a 3, so yeah, I was a little disappointed by it, mainly because I thought more was going to be happening, and then when stuff was happening I thought it was way too easy for her to do. I don't know, I just wish it was more high stakes, and I don't know, like let her get hurt once in a while, like let her fail. I don't know. That's all my thoughts on this one. And I did do a full reading vlog with Fearless and these next 2 books that I'm about to talk about. So I think I should probably not talk about it as much, but I'm still going to give you thoughts and ratings. And that reading vlog is going to be up in June. So there's lots of books that I'm going to be reading for it. Basically all the new releases that came out. I have 6 books that I want to read for that video, and that's going to be going up in June. Keep your eye out for that. Subscribe if you haven't already, because that's going to be a fun video, seeing all the different new releases. Anyways, the next one, let me bring up Goodreads again. The next one that I read was Twisted Lies, so that was on my Kindle, and that's the 4th and final book in the Twisted series. So this one, who was it about again? See, I already forgot. Oh, okay. It's about Christian and one of the other girls in the core girl group. I forgot her name. Stella. Christian and Stella. So Christian is like not a crime boss, but he's a CEO of a company, Harper Security, and that's the company that Reese worked for. So that's why he was working as a bodyguard for Bridget. So that's how that ties in. Anyways, Harper Security is his company, and then he also does cyber stuff on the side. And then he's like a huge genius about the cyber and internet and whatever else. And he also likes art, but you find out the art relevance and significance at the very end, and I really liked that and enjoyed that. But I didn't like the reveal about who the stalker was. So this one follows Stella, and she has a stalker, and she's living in the same building as Christian. So he has this whole building called the Mirage. So she's staying there, so he's able to kind of watch over her and have his bodyguards watch over her. And he's also trying to figure out who the stalker is. And it felt very anticlimactic because I thought it was going to be like this huge character that you never saw coming, and I didn't see it coming because I didn't think there was any relevance to him, because you also never really see him either. So I rated it a 3, unfortunately. Like I said, Twisted Games was my favorite. And I think I'm gonna stick with that. I read Twisted Lies a long time ago, and I didn't think I was going to finish reading the series, but then one of my other friends is reading this series and she got me into it. Oh, actually, I read that after Summer in the City. So we'll talk about Summer in the City now. This is Alex Astor's first romance novel, I'm pretty sure. And Allie Hazelwood has a little blurb on the front. So that is really cool. And then she also has all of the different covers or sprayed edges. She has like a taxi. This one, different versions. This one was the Walmart edition, and I think it's probably my favorite one just because it has the New York skyline and all the yellow hearts on it. And then the map on the inside, it's so cute. And then it also has this little guy on the front. Let's see how long it read me to read this. Okay, so it took me 2 days to read this, and I rated it a 3.5 stars. just because I thought some of the things were cringy, I guess, and I don't know. I guess it could have gone a little differently, but overall, it was pretty good. And I underlined some things. I liked the character development of the two, and especially her character development. So this follows Elle. She is a screenwriter for like big budget movies, and she has to go to New York, and there's different places around New York that are going to be scenes for this movie. So she wants to be there in person so she can visualize the scene. And then Parker Warren is the guy. So years ago, maybe 2 years ago, at the beginning of this book, they meet at a party and they have a little makeout session in the stairwell, and then she like shoves him away. During their whole interaction, he had assumed that she was the type of woman that wanted to be at the party just to go home with really rich guys, and that was not her. And since then, she had this absolute hatred for him, which I'm like, for 2 years you're gonna hold on to that and make that your muse for writing screenwriting, and you're gonna hold on and have this huge hatred for him when he is of no significance in your life. I don't know. I just found that a little weird. And then they meet back up 2 years later because they are actually living in the same building on the same floor, and there's only 2 rooms on the floor that they're on. So they meet there again, and basically he needs a fake girlfriend to counteract how his business is going and then take attention away from that and trying to produce good press instead of the negativity that was going on. So they strike up a deal, and she's going to be his fake girlfriend, and then he is going to take her around to the different places because he knows New York, and show her around the different places so she can do her screenwriting. And so that is the whole summer, them going around doing these different events and going around to the different places. It just follows them and their stories, and I liked the character growth for both of them. I really did. I would say this is a 4, but just because of the cringy stuff and like awkward whatever, I'm going to do a 3.5 or 3.75. I don't know. I feel like it's almost a 4, but it's not quite. That is Summer in the City. And then I read Twisted Lies, which we already covered that. And then I finally finished Spark of the Everflame on my Kindle. I took almost a month to read that. So I started at March 31st and I finished it April 25th. I don't know. Some people were really loving it, and I thought I would really love it because the people that I was watching, I feel like I kind of have the same taste as them in books. I was really disappointed by not liking this one, and I don't think I'm going to continue it, which I'm very sad about. But anyways, this follows what's even her name? Diane Bellator. So she is a healer, and she started the healer journey because her mother was a healer, and she kind of has to take over for her mother because her mother goes missing, and she's still missing. So she kind of has to take over for her mother and learn all about the descended side. So this world, it's separated by the descended, and I forget what you call the other people, just humans, I guess. Anyways, the descended have powers, and they're super strong, and they can't be cut by regular knives. They have to have this special metal or steel, whatever going on. Then there's also like the love triangle kind of deal, but not really. And then I didn't really like the world building either. Like you can't really picture anything, at least I didn't, about where she was. I don't know. It just took me out a lot because a lot was happening that I didn't like. So it just seemed pretty boring to me. And then there's also like the Guardian Rebellion group that you see, and I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite, and I was really expecting to like it, so I was very disappointed by that. The next book that I read is by a new author. This is her debut novel, Kelsey and Pichike. So I watched her on YouTube way back in high school. So like 2018 maybe, or before I graduated. So I graduated in 2019. So maybe